Um, it is 4:29, and we are always on time, right, Lisa?
That's
Always,
right.
always
Finish
on
on
time.
time too.
We finish on time too. Okay, good. Well, in that case, then we're going to start in 27 seconds.
I gotcha.
Okay, cool. Well, we appreciate everybody showing up tonight. We hope you'll enjoy this, and we'll record it, and I'll publish it as a blog post on my social practices site. And Lisa, you're welcome to publish it on your site when we get it done.
Absolutely.
So, if you can't get enough of Lisa and Adrian, and you want more, you can just rewatch it over and over and over again. And like my wife did when Titanic came out. She saw it 13 times in the
Oh my
theater.
goodness. I don't think I've ever seen anything 13 times.
Yeah, exactly. It gets old after that. Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started then. Um, the slide that Lisa has up, mastering Google business profiles for dental marketing, reviews, messaging, and HIPAA compliance. We're going to split this webinar into kind of two parts where Lisa takes half of it and I take the other half. So she'll begin the webinar after we do some introductions, and then when she finishes up, we'll jump on my portion of the webinar. And so we're excited to have everybody here. And so let's talk about who you are. Who are you? What are you
I
doing?
am.
Why are you in Utah?
Just moved to Utah 4 years ago. Live in Park City. I'm Lisa Copeland. I'm the CEO of Communicate with Influence. And it is we're a company that specializes in team communication and practice management from a communication standpoint. And so we try to help with employee retention and attraction, and also with getting new patients through referrals, and also through your colleague referrals. So fun. It's really a fun business to be in, and meet a lot of practices. We're also hosting an event in Park City, Utah, February 23rd and 24th for dental practices for your whole team. And it will be a day and a half of CE. So you get 9 continuing education credits. It's right in the middle of Park City at the Peaks Hotel. And we would love for any of you to attend, would love your whole team to attend. We have 4 global speakers, and there's lots more information on ceinthemountains.org. So you can look that up, and please feel free to contact me if you want any more information as well.
Yeah, and Lisa, make sure that you got a QR code in your slide deck, right? That you can share with the audience.
I don't think I do.
You don't?
I don't think I do. Can we send it in?
Lisa, this is like a marketing 101. Like,
you told me to do it, and I totally spaced it.
All right. Well,
I need to really listen to you more.
All right, that's all right. The most important thing about this event, other than Lisa and all the education and all the CE, is you get to go skiing. I mean,
exactly.
You get to go skiing, and you get to go to the whiskey shop. What's the name of that whiskey place?
The distillery, High West.
High West Whiskey Distillery is
it's a good place. Good food too.
Really,
and the funnest part, I forgot, we're having a horse-drawn sleigh ride to the Snowed In restaurant on Friday night, which is included in the registration too. So fun time. Okay. You'll learn a lot, but you get to experience the magic of Park City too.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be about 10 feet of snow by then. We don't have a lot of snow yet here in Salt Lake in the ski resorts, which is totally different than last year. I had 10 feet. I had 10 feet of snow at my house last year. 10
we did too.
Feet.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yeah, we're getting a good storm coming in tomorrow afternoon. They're saying 2 feet, up to 2 feet.
Nice. So anyway, come get some CE, eat some steaks, go on a sleigh ride, drink some whiskey. That's what this is. Right?
Wow, that sounds like a great plan.
All right. So Lisa's going to take, she's going to talk her portion of the presentation, which we'll jump into now. She's going to talk about Google reviews, responding to Google reviews, the value of that. When you're done with that, I'll take over, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Google Maps optimization, what your Google business profile is, what you can do to rank higher in Google Maps. And then I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to add your social profile links and a couple other things that are kind of new and trending with Google business profiles. And then we'll take a few Q&As. You are all welcome to just chat in I believe you can just chat in. Well, there's a Q&A. I believe there's a Q&A button there you can click on, or you can just raise your hand. We're happy to take any questions. We'll answer those at the end. And then one last thing. So let me just introduce myself really quick, and then I'll hand over to you, Lisa. So my name is Adrian Lefler. I probably should have done this at the beginning. I'm the CEO of My Social Practice. I'm mostly in the sales and the marketing division, and work with those teams at the company. And I live in Draper, Utah, which is near where Lisa is located in Park City. And I love working with dentists. I never, ever thought that I would ever work with dentists. Never even entered my mind. I did think I was going to be a rock star at one point. I swore I was going to be a rapper.
Okay.
Or a billionaire,
webinar.
or something like that. But no, I work with dentists and I actually really enjoy it. It's such a fun business. I love the people. So anyway, that's who we are. We've been around for about 14 years. We've got 30 or so employees. We're spread all over the United States. And we just love helping dentists understand how to find new patients and grow their practices. So that's who we are. And we often do these webinars like this with leading consultants in the industry to just give nice trending tips and tricks. So I'll end with that, and it's on you, Lisa. You take it away.
All right, here we go. In today's digital age, our online review presence and the reviews that we get, they have a really powerful sway over all of our consumer decisions. And so whether you're looking for a restaurant or a vacation spot or a dentist, right? People are going to go to reviews before they've even looked at your practice or talked to anybody in your practice before they make that choice. And so it's so important for us to be involved in really answering and interacting with those reviews. So as a dentist, your online reputation is going to make or break your practice. And that's the way of the world now. You know, we weren't always here, but we are now. And that's why it's so crucial for you to engage with your patients on Google reviews. And so if you type in dentist near me, and I did this, I live in Park City, I did this, and this is what it pulled up. The first thing you're going to see is where they're located and the practice reviews. And so the reviews are going to influence the way that patients think about your practice before they've even met you. So your reputation is really just kind of shaped by what patients are saying in your online reviews. And so they look at the online reviews to vet how and where they're going to get their health care. And we use online reviews. Like when you buy something, we all go to reviews to look at something before we purchase it. And this is what they're doing in healthcare and dentistry now. So according to research from 1-800-DENTIST, 70% of consumers say online dentist reviews are equally as important as dental professional credentials.
Look at that. There's Fred Joyle jumping right into this. Well,
that is
on that anymore. I think he sold it, but
crazy. Crazy. But you know, that's huge that people are using that much influence from your online reviews. So crucial that we get on board with this.
So Lisa, can I add one thing to that?
Absolutely.
Just to kind of like jump on top of what you've already said. So there were several, well, there's been hundreds of these research studies done, but there were a couple really big ones that were done maybe 2 or 3 years ago about the value of an online referral or not a referral, but an online review, and how valuable that was compared to like a word of mouth referral, and that's almost equal in people's minds.
Which is crazy.
An online review that's validated, and it's not most Google reviews, you know, they see that as valuable as a personal recommendation, which is unbelievable. But that's kind of how we see the world now. Anyway.
Yep. And the research shows, you know, people go to friends and family first, and then they go to Google, which, you know, like you said, it's half of their influence. And so it might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable over having potential patients perceive your brand, right? You may not have much control over it, but the way that you respond and actively participate in those reviews, it's one of the best ways for you to improve your online presence. So personal responses, and it doesn't have to be the same person all the time, although you should have somebody spearheading, monitoring your social media so that you can react to positive, neutral, and negative reviews very quickly, right? So it demonstrates that you're committed to the well-being of your patients. So for my portion of the presentation, we're going to be talking about 3 different areas of why we need to respond to the reviews. Number 1, you're going to build trust. Number 2, you're going to enhance your online reputation. And number 3, they do provide really good feedback and insights into our practice strengths and also our practice challenges or weaknesses. So we have to be prepared to react to how we can improve things if a patient doesn't have a good experience. So the patient trust is the cornerstone of any successful dental practice. And when you respond to your Google reviews personally, you're not just acknowledging the feedback, but you're also demonstrating that you have a genuine commitment to the patient's well-being. And that personal touch goes a long way. People are really looking for somebody who knows them and understands them and has an emotional connection with them. And so you need to build that rapport, excuse me, with your patients. And Adrian's going to talk more about how you're going to manage the business online presence and also how to optimize your Google business listing. And Adrian actually wrote a guest blog for me. I posted it on my website, and I walked through and did the steps about, you know, I looked at my business profile, and that's one of my challenges I'm going to throw out to you. I looked at my business profile and I went through every single one of the steps that he suggested. And there was a lot of things that I changed. And as soon as I did that, it actually moved my business up in the SEO search engines. So it was very helpful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So imagine this scenario. Linda, your patient, just leaves the office and she leaves a really glowing 5-star review, praising your gentle approach and your effective treatment. And so you respond with a really sincere, heartfelt thank you message, expressing your gratitude, number 1, for her review and her kind words, and also emphasizing how dedicated you are to providing exceptional care. So you can take those positive responses and turn them into marketing opportunities to really emphasize, you know, thank you so much for saying that. That's one of the things that we really take pride in with our team members and our practice here. Linda, in turn, is going to feel really valued, and she's going to feel very appreciated as a patient. She will tell her friends and her family and her colleagues about what a great office you are, right? So you use that to your advantage. It's a really nice way to get a little marketing plug in there.
Hey, Lisa, can I add one thing to that?
Yep. You jump in anytime.
Yeah. So what happens? So there's a notification process in the reviews system, the way that Google set it up. So when you receive a review, if somebody on your end, on the practice end, responds, that patient gets a notification that you responded. So it's not like they don't know. They're going to get a little text or some kind of a notification on their phone that says that they got a response to the review that they placed. So if you don't do it, then that may not really mean anything. But if you do it, they know that you're watching, right? They understand that it's a level of, I don't know, there's a perceived value to the response and the notification that they get.
Right.
So anyway,
and you know, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, oh my gosh, you know, how am I going to keep track of that on top of all of the other jobs that I do throughout the day? Which is why you really need somebody to be in the forefront of watching those reviews, because you do want to have a pretty quick response. On the flip side, if you receive a negative review, your personal response can really turn the situation around. And so when we're addressing criticism, we really want to be sure to remain professional, but we also want to be empathetic. Because sometimes it's not what happened. There was something else going on with the patient, and we've all been in that situation. You know, they are, the appointment doesn't go well, and you know there's an underlying reason, and it's not really about you or about the practice. And so what we want to do,
crazy. They're usually crazy people, let's be honest.
Sometimes they are, you're right. So first, we want to apologize for any negative experience the patient had and offer to resolve it in private. This not only demonstrates your commitment to patient satisfaction, but it also shows that your patients that you're taking their concerns and their privacy matters very seriously. Negative reviews are pretty humbling, and they're kind of hard to respond to, but they also allow you to improve your patient experience. And so by responding directly on the platform, and that's really important that you do that as well, directly on the platform, but you want to remain HIPAA compliant, right? And so I'm going to give you an example on the next slide. So it's a 4-part formula to responding to a negative review. You want to say thank you for replying. Also have an apology, but really minimize the apology. Focus on the customer experience. And then 4th, you want to provide a call to action. And so this is what it might look like. Thank you for sharing your feedback. We're sorry your experience didn't match your expectations. Because of our privacy regulations, we can't discuss the specifics of your comments publicly. However, we are committed to providing you with high quality care and take your feedback very seriously. Please review the private message that we've sent to you. Our patient experience manager will call you to discuss your experience. We'd love to make things right if you give us another chance. So there's your 4 parts that we just talked about. And the reason that this works is because the review response addresses specific issues without breaking HIPAA compliance or confidentiality. It also communicates the provider the concrete plan for your practice to make things right. We recently hired a consultant, or we have a patient experience manager that's going to address this issue. And the response also offers you to take the conversation offline, and that's to help you with staying compliant with the patient's confidentiality. So word of caution, you're more than welcome to use this template. I created it myself, and one thing you don't want to do is use this same response for every single negative response. And you can reformulate this for a positive response and a neutral response as well, but don't use the same one over and over, because people will catch on to that real quick.
Yeah. And if you're getting lots and lots and lots of negative reviews, you've probably got a different problem.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'll touch on that a little bit towards the end of this, but yeah, for sure. According to David Rice, Dr. David Rice, the co-founder of Ignite Dentistry, or Ignite DDS, excuse me, every patient experience should have zero bias and influence from the previous patient. And so in clinical practice, you know, if we have an appointment that doesn't go well, or, you know, it looked great on paper, but things just fell apart. And we've all had those days, right? And what you want to do is really try not to bring that negative experience into the next appointment, because we move fast throughout the day in dentistry. We have to be able to shake it off. It takes 11 or more positive experiences to overcome one negative experience. And people hold on to that, right? And they aren't as loyal. Our patients aren't as loyal as they used to be. So we really want to make sure that we're not influencing that bias on the next patient. If you see a negative, maybe you're on your lunch hour and you're reading through your reviews and somebody posted a negative review, that's really hard to not let it impact you, but just try to push it down and you know, push it aside until you get through the day, and then focus on what you can do to change that situation. The second reason we want to respond to reviews is to actively manage your online reputation. And so Bright Local did a survey that showed 87% of consumers read online reviews for local businesses, with 79% trusting online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. And this is what you were talking about earlier. You stole my thunder.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I'm kidding. I forgot I was in here. So you want to think about your Google review page as your digital storefront, right? That's what people are looking at, and the positive responses to glowing reviews reinforce the positive image of your practice, and it demonstrates your commitment to really addressing issues and improving your patient experience for everyone. And people are really looking for positive experiences in every aspect of our lives, healthcare, dentistry, and everything else in our lives. Additionally, if you regularly engage with these reviews, you can boost your practice's visibility on Google. And Adrian, you can certainly address this better than I can, but the search engine algorithm favors businesses that actively engage with their customers. So when you respond to those reviews, it sends a little signal to Google that you're an active and reputable business, potentially resulting in better search rankings and also increased visibility for potential patients. Do you have anything to add to that?
It's in the algorithm, it's estimated that it's probably about the 5th or 6th most valuable thing that you can do with your Google business profile is to get reviews and then respond to them. So it's a significant portion of the algorithm. So yeah, you should definitely do it.
Yep. So the third reason, and our last reason we're going to discuss in my portion, is to respond to the Google reviews, is that they offer really valuable insights. And we talked on this a little bit in the beginning. Your practices are going to have strengths and areas for improvement. We all have areas that challenge us, and we have areas for improvement. And when you read reviews carefully and really respond personally, you can gain a much better understanding about what your patients appreciate about your practice and where they feel that you're maybe lacking or not as good as maybe their previous dentist. And so if you have a positive review, it can highlight aspects of your practice that set you apart from the competition. And you can use that to promote your practice. If you have people that are saying over and over and over again, oh my gosh, I love their team. They're so friendly. It's painless. He always runs on time. She's always very concerned about my comfort. Those things, if they just keep showing up and showing up and showing up in your reviews, that is what you want to be marketing for your practice, because that's what's important to people and that's what they're highlighting in the reviews. On the other hand, negative reviews can pinpoint areas where you really need to improve or you need some coaching in. And so perhaps patients mention that you have long waits, you never run on time, or your billing process is really confusing, or they didn't communicate very well with me when they referred me to the periodontist, and I really didn't understand what the next procedure was. So all of these circumstances provide an opportunity for you to address them and improve your practice and ultimately enhance your patient experience and your patient journey. So to summarize, in my portion, we are going to respond to patient Google reviews it's an essential part of managing your practice, and it's something that you can't ignore in the digital world that we live in now. It builds trust, it enhances your online image, and provides valuable feedback for continual improvement for us. And as you engage with your patients online, remember, every response is an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with your existing patients and attract new ones, because the more appreciated your patients feel, the more they're going to tell their friends and their family and increase the referrals that are coming in from them. So I'm going to give you a challenge for today, and I mentioned this a little earlier. What I'd like you to do is a call to action, and I want you to focus on the what, the who, and the when. And so what I would love you to do is go back and review your Google business profile and update any critical areas that you will have that will have a positive impact. And so I told you that that's what I did with my business after I saw Adrian's blog, and it helped. It really made a big difference. He's not kidding.
I am usually kidding, but not with that.
So you want to review it with your social media expert. If you don't have a person designated to it, that may be a discussion for an all-team meeting, right? But you want more than one set of eyes on your page as well, because different people look at different things, as we all know. And just give it a shot next week. Just start with reviewing your Google business page. So you want to stay sharp and be the practice that stands out from the competition. And I can tell you, with the practices that I work with, there are very few practices who are really good at managing their social media, and particularly their Google business page. And so automatically it's going to raise the bar for your office. You want to collaborate. Also, find out what your colleagues are doing. You know, what are their successes with their business page, and what have they found when they made some changes? A lot of your professional associations might offer guidance or resources for managing your online reviews. And certainly you can partner with Adrian and My Social Practice to really capitalize on your online presence. They are so helpful in that aspect. So don't underestimate the power of personal response in the world of the digital dentistry. I'm going to turn it over to Adrian. He's up next to, he's seriously one of the best experts I know in this field that can help explain it in a way where we can understand it. And that's important to me. So I hope it is to you as well. And he'll help you with your really getting your SEO up to success.
Hey,
take it away.
Thank you, Lisa. Will you plug your event one more time and just tell them where to go if they're interested in learning more about how they can come and ski and get drunk?
Sure. So it's called ceinthemountains.org. That's the website. You don't need the www in front of it or anything. And it is in Park City, Utah, February 23rd and 24th. We will go all day Friday. We'll have a horse-drawn sleigh ride Saturday or Friday night up to the PCMR has a restaurant on the mountain. So we take a horse-drawn sleigh ride up to the restaurant. And then the next day we have a half day of CE. We have 4 global speakers, and you can get all of the information you need for reservations and registration on ceinthemountains.org.
Thank you. We had, I'm going to address a question that came in from April.
Okay.
While we're making this transition here. So April asked, so this is her question. So we've discussed why reviews are so important, but we still have team members who just don't ask. And we offer a monthly employee bonus for asking and getting reviews. Any other ideas of how to get team members to ask for reviews? So I'll pose that to you, Lisa. I have an answer to that as well, but do you have a response to that question?
I do. You need to, the best thing you can do is have a discussion about this in your all team meetings, right? And you've got to come up with a formula of how you're going to ask patients for reviews. The other thing you should do is in your morning stand-ups, or people call them morning huddles, you should highlight patients that you want to ask for referrals and for reviews. And you don't want to ask the patient for 2 things, but you can go through the schedule and say, okay, you know, Lisa's going to ask her hygiene patient that comes in at 10 o'clock for a referral, and we're going to see them in the restorative chair, and we're going to ask them for a review, right? Especially if you know a patient had a good experience, you want to take advantage of that and say, hey, you know, could you give us a little a review on social media? I'll send you the link as you're walking out the door. You should have that set up in your practice management software that you can immediately send out, how did we do today? And make it so easy that all they have to do is click the little smiley face and move on.
That's a good response. I like that. April, I'm going to address that question in my part of my presentation as I kind of go through it. So let me share my screen, and I'll jump in. I'm gonna bounce back and forth between my screen and my phone as I do this presentation to help it be a little bit more interactive. Just for anybody that, I'm not going to go into super deep detail about how to optimize your Google business profile. I have a ton of blog articles and instructions on how to do this online. I've written stuff for dental economics and group dentistry now and dentistry IQ and whatnot. But this is an article on dental economics. If you just search dental SEO guide, you can find it. But this gives you the steps. This is kind of the article that I wrote for you, Lisa, on her site is similar to this. So you can either go to Lisa's site, read the article I wrote there, or you can come here to this dental economics article, or I've probably got 10 different articles on how to do this on our blog. So you can come to our blog and you can look through. There's this one here that's all about how to optimize your website and your listings and whatnot. So if you have interest in actually the optimization process, how to rank higher in Google Maps, how to get more phone calls, we got a ton of information on how to do it in our blog content. So all right, so I'm going to share my phone, and what we're going to do is, if you guys will pull your phones out, you can kind of do this along with me. And if you get stuck, oh, Lisa asked one more question.
Or April did.
Huh?
April did.
Did I say Lisa? I meant I was looking at your face, reading her name. my brain got
I didn't want to interrupt you. So, April, yes. That's a yes and no answer. Yes, if the dentist is socially comfortable in requesting information like that. Some of our team members just are very uncomfortable with asking for a review or asking for a referral. They're probably better at some things that maybe someone else isn't, but you know, if they're not comfortable with it, I wouldn't force it. But everybody should be asking for reviews at certain times throughout different, you know, throughout their appointments throughout the week, month, day, and year.
Yeah, her question was, should the dentist ask for reviews? So
Yeah.
There's. All right, so I'm going to jump to my my phone, and Lisa, if you don't mind, will you take the screen share back from me really quick, because I'm having a hard time with the phone to take it over. So just so it'll cancel it out for me. There we go. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Are you seeing mine now, though?
Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna share my phone now. This will stop there. You want to hit continue? That's fine. All right. You need to hit continue. Do you see continue on your screen?
I don't.
There's
I can hit stop share.
Yeah, just hit stop share.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, so you should be able to see my cell phone.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when I go out and speak, and I've given this presentation, I don't know how many times, and this is the number one problem that I run into. And I just like, so it's like super simple, but it's the number one problem. So when we're talking about Google Maps and how a dental practice can rank higher in the map, you have to download the Google Maps app. The Google Maps app comes standard on an Android phone. So if you have an Android phone, it's already loaded on your phone when you buy your phone. If you have an iPhone, you have to download it. Now, here's the trick. Do you see this big pin right here in the middle, the one I'm kind of holding on to? That one? That's Google Maps. It's not this one, Apple Maps. It's not this one. That's Apple Maps, and Google Maps is something totally different. Okay, we are talking about Google Maps, right? Let me get back here. This one here in the middle. So you got to look at that little icon and make sure that we're clicking on the right icon.
Can I just say, he had me do this before we started, and I went to the wrong place.
Right. It's okay. It's okay. They look so close, you know, they look like almost the same thing, but we're talking about Google Maps. So if you need to download it, just go to the App Store and download Google Maps. Otherwise, make sure that you're clicking on the right app, okay? Or we're not going to be able to do anything that we're talking about, okay? So that's number one. Once you go into Google or Google Maps, let me go to Explore. You'll notice up in the top right-hand corner, there's a very clean-cut picture of me. That means I'm logged in to that particular account. So when you're looking at your phone, you need to look up in that little search where it says search here, and to the right, you see the little image. You should have something there. It should be some kind of an icon. If there's nothing there, then you're not logged into a Google account on your phone. And you have to be logged in to a Google account that is an admin of your listing. Okay. This is the second #1 problem where everybody gets stuck. Nobody has the correct Google account and login information in order to actually get to the editing panel of your listing. So what you can do is if you click up there, you got to make sure there's nothing typed in this search bar. It has to be empty. If you click over there I'm going to click on my image right there. It'll pull up this panel. And then from here, you can, if you're not logged into any Google account, you won't see anything up top where it says Adrian Lefler and it has my picture there. You won't see anything up there. If you have multiple Google accounts that you're logged into, you'll see multiples, and you can see them by hitting that little drop down to the right of my picture. And you'll see I have two other Google accounts that I'm logged into currently on my phone. I have Adrian Lefler, which is my personal one, and then I have MSP, this is our company Google account. So an individual can have many Google accounts. You can be logged into multiple Google accounts on your phone, and you can toggle between them. What you have to figure out is which Google account is the one that's the admin of your listing in order to do any of this stuff I'm going to show you. So here's what you do. To know if you're logged in or not, you can go down in the bottom right-hand corner. There's 2 ways to do this. The bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that little business thing with the red dot on it. Click on that. And this will take you into any of the listings that Google account is an admin of or on, excuse me. And you can click on the right drop down from that My Social Practice title, and it'll give you other businesses that Google account is an admin on. I have a whole bunch of these in here from dental practices and friends and family that I've helped. I've become admins. My Google account has become an admin on their accounts to help them fix stuff, right? So I got a whole bunch of them listed in there. But if you don't see anything here, if you click on this My Business or the business and nothing comes up, then that means the Google account that you're logged into is not an admin on any listing. And you need to get added to the listing, and there's a whole process for that, or you got to log into a different Google account. Okay.
So Adrian,
I promise you that 90% of you are going to get stuck right there. So it just happens.
We had a comment from somebody said, if I recall, getting a Google business account takes time. Google will send information with a code to confirm you're an actual legit business. It does take a little bit of time to set it up.
Yeah. So, well, if you don't have a listing already, anonymous attendee, if you have a practice and you're okay with sharing it, you type your practice in there and I'll use you as an example and I'll see if you have a listing already. If you don't, then this is what you do. Most dental practices, to just answer this question a little bit more in depth, that's being asked here. Almost all dental practices and businesses have a listing. You might have multiple listings. They get created automatically by Google because Google scrapes data from state business registration sites, and they grab information from other directories and they just create them. What you have to do is you have to find if you've got one out there already and then claim it. Okay. And that's another, I've got trainings on that and blog articles on that as well, if you're curious about that.
She did put a name in there. Misty Dennis.
Well, I think, isn't that just an attendee?
Is that just her name?
Yeah. I believe that's just the attendee. So, so you probably have a listing. If you don't have a listing, you can set one up. You go to business.google.com, or just search how to set up a Google business profile, and the top listing will be how to do it. And it takes you through a wizard. You put in the name, your address, your phone, your information about your practice, and you hit submit. And then what they'll do is, depending on like the day of, depending on what's going on at Google, you'll either get a call from Google to the phone number that you've put into the listing, and it'll give you a PIN that you can then use to put back in the internet, and then you can claim it and you can launch it. Sometimes they have to send you an actual physical postcard. It's a shot in the dark. Sometimes you get a phone call, sometimes you get a postcard, sometimes you get both. But it doesn't take very long. It only takes a few days to get it set up. Okay. Okay. So with that, I'll go to the next quick question. Misty says, will you send notes on the entire Google business information? And I assume you're talking about, Misty, you're talking about how to optimize. I actually have a webinar that I've done and I've recorded, and I have one that Blake has done and recorded. I'll send that to you. I'll actually send it in a follow-up email on how to optimize your listings, and you guys, everybody that came into the webinar can watch it. Okay. All right. So now let's go back. So one, you got to be in the right Google account, and that Google account needs to be an admin on the listing. Now, if that's the case, then what you can do, another way to know if you're in the right Google account, is you can just put the name of your practice in here. So I'm going to put the name of my business, my social practice, my practice social. How many years have I been typing that and I don't ever screw it up? My social practice, you just click on it and then it'll pull it up. And now look, you see this where it says down at the bottom, it says edit profile, promote. That doesn't show up for anybody else. That only shows up for people who are searching for the listing, who are logged into a Google account that's an admin over the listing. Okay. If you look up my social practice, you're not going to see edit profile. You're not going to see promote. Okay. That's an editing panel that's only shown to me or somebody else that is a manager or an owner of the listing. So if you see that when you search your practice, if you see those editing capabilities, that means you're logged into the right Google account. If you don't see it, you're not. Okay. All right. So I will give instructions on how to troubleshoot that in a follow-up email with a video. Okay. For those of you who aren't totally lost, this is how there's a couple little tricks that I wanted to show you tonight. And I've already used up 15 minutes. So I'm going to just do a couple things. Okay. One of the things that Google has recently allowed is for you to link your social media profiles to your Google business profile. So up until maybe a few weeks ago, it was like impossible to do this. We've been trying to get all of our clients' social media accounts listed and linked to their Google business listing, so that when somebody finds the listing in Maps, they might be able to click through to their social accounts. It was almost impossible to do it. So we've tried for years, but Google has finally created a really, really simple process to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to get more reviews, and I'll touch on some of the stuff that Lisa talked about. So when you're here on this editing panel, and my eyes are going bad, so I got to turn my brightness up. Where you go is you go to edit profile. So this little button right here in the top, right at the top on the left, you click edit profile. You go to business information. And then when you get to the business information tab here, you click on contact. And you'll notice that right there's a section for social profiles. And there's a little editing pencil next to it. And you can see I've got YouTube and Facebook in there currently right now. So if you were to go online and look up my social practice, you'll see that my Facebook icon, and I'll show you here in a second, icon is on my listing. My YouTube icon's on there. So I'm going to add another social profile. So all you do is you just click on the little pencil. You go add social profile right there. So you add it. You choose the one. They give you some to choose from. You got Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter. I'm going to link Instagram. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to Instagram and grab my business account. Actually, we have it listed at the bottom of our site, so I'm just going to grab it from there. Okay, so down here at the bottom, I've got all of our social media icons. So I'm going to click there, so I don't have to type it in with my sausage fingers. Okay, so now I'm on my Instagram account. I'm just going to grab that. I clicked on the top 3 buttons in the top right, and I'm just going to grab copy profile URL. So now it's copied. I'm going to go back to Google Maps, and I'm going to drop that right in there. I'm going to paste that in. Boom, save. Okay, so now it says pending. See how it says pending there, and it's kind of highlighted in yellow? It takes about 10, 20 minutes for the update to happen. Okay, so, but what I would recommend is that you link all of your social profiles to your Google business profile, because for a couple of reasons. One, people might actually click through. I mean, they might click through from social media, from your Google business profile, to see more about your practice on Instagram. And if you guys are doing a good job of social media, you'd want that, right? The other reason this is important is anytime you can create a link between your website and your social media accounts, or your social media accounts and a directory, and a directory with your blog or whatever it might be, this may sound stupid, but it's kind of this simple. It just strengthens the bond between all of those things in search. So if you have a website and there's no links from your website to your social media accounts, and vice versa, then you're damaging the value of how well your website would rank had you link those things through to each other. So linking is the way that Google recognizes value online. It's kind of like it's like a little vote is the way to think about it. So you want to link as much as you possibly can to create a network of linking online. It makes it easier for Google to rank you. So if somebody searches for your practice name or searches for a service that you offer, not only will your website show up, but your social media accounts might, and your Google business profile, and so forth. Okay, so you just want to, it's just a good best practice is to link everything. So I would say come in here, make sure you add all your social media links. It's brand new. I think it's only like a couple of weeks old that you can do this. Okay. Here's another thing you can do. You can turn on what's called chat or messages. Now, we ran into a little problem today because I tested this, and in the testing, I turned our chat off on my Google business profile and turned it back on, and it screwed up my chat. And now my chat's not showing on my Google business profile. So I'm going to show you how to turn it on. But when you're looking at this page here, usually right here where it says call, right at the top where it says call, save, share, there's usually a little button that says chat, and customers or clients can chat us directly right through our Google business profile, but it's gone because I messed it up today. So I think what happens is if you go in and you turn it on and off a couple times, this is what I did, it messed with Google's system. So it's probably going to take them a day to clear it up. But anyway, but this is what you do. Okay. You want to turn chat on through your Google business profile because so many people go to your Google business profile in the search. It's the thing that shows up in the map. If you're on your phone, if somebody's looking on your phone, they can chat you right there. You've probably done it with other businesses. When you've opened up Google Maps, you've probably chatted a local business right through that chat function. So you got to turn it on though. And the way you turn it on is you go to, I can remember how to do this. Like I say, I did it today. You go to, so let me show you where I'm going. So I clicked on edit profile right here at the top. So that in the middle there, edit profile. I clicked on business information, and I believe I can get to it from oh no, excuse me, it's over here. Nope, just kidding. Sorry, I went to the wrong place. I think it's edit business information. No, it's contained in the same place. Sorry, guys. Here, I need to go out to here. I'm going to go back. This is how you can get to it. This is how I found it before. Okay. So I'm back at the main Google Maps thing, and I do not have anything typed in the search bar. Down in the bottom right-hand corner where it has that little business in the red dot, click on that. And then right here, if you click on more, it'll drop down. You see how that drops down all those, that editing panel? You see this top, the top row, third one over, it says messages. It's right there. You just click on messages. And then up in the top right-hand corner, there's those three dots. You select those and you select manage chat. And then you can right here, it's gonna ask you which business you want to log into. I've got 3 of them that I'm logged into with this account. So I'm going to select my social practice, and then you'll see at the top where it says turn on chat, you just turn that on. Notice mine's turned on, but I was messing around with it, turning it on and off, messing around with it today, trying to see what would happen if I turned it off and on. And it screwed up. It broke Google. It freaking broke Google. You know, that little tiny button, just that little button. Everybody in San Francisco's falling, their heads are falling off. So anyway, that's where you go. So but basically, let me just show you one more time, and then you guys can watch the video recording of this. But you go to get to Google Maps, bottom right-hand corner, click on businesses. You select messages right there at the top. And then you go to the 3 dots, you hit manage chat, and then you turn it on. Now, what'll happen is now people can chat you. And so they'll chat and you'll get a notification on your phone when somebody chats you, which is super cool, right? I mean, it's just like, rather than, you know, I mean, they can text you, right? That's just fine. You got a textable phone number at the practice. That's great. But here you can turn this chat on. It's really, really easy to work with. Okay, let me show you one other thing, and then I will shut up. Okay, so one of the questions that was asked earlier by, I think it was April. April asked about getting reviews. So there's a couple suggestions about this. Well, there's a couple of ways you can get lots of reviews. You can have just a bitchin' team who does everything you ask them to do. That's the hardest thing to do. 2, you can create a campaign. My recommendation, and the way that I've seen this work, because we've been doing this for like 12 years trying to help practices get reviews, is that you don't want to have an ongoing, we always got to be getting reviews thing. I think what you should do is you set up a month-long campaign, and you're going to set a goal. You're going to try and get 100 reviews in 1 month, and you put spiffs on it, and then it's going to end. Because what happens is people get excited about it based on whatever promotion you put behind it, or spiff, or whatever you're going to do. And then after a month, they're going to forget about it. And they're not going to want to do it anymore because some other ridiculous situation is going to come up that you're going to have to deal with, right? So I think you should have, like, twice a year, a short sprint for reviews. Just blast it out, right? On our website, there's a tab. I'll show you before I get off. There's a tab called free. And on that page, there's a whole campaign kit that you can download and print off about, that you can put posters and signs and social media posts, all sorts of stuff that you can get to kind of kick off a reviews campaign. So there's actually even a poster in there you can print that tracks how many you've got reaching your goal. It's got like a thermometer on it or something like that you fill up as you're getting more reviews. So it'll make it fun. It'll kind of coordinate everything. But that's how I would recommend. Do short sprints, not this has to happen every day for the rest of your lives kind of thing. Okay.
I love that idea. Can I add into that?
Please.
Get your patients involved, let them know that you're having a contest and you're trying to increase Google reviews this month. Let them know it's short term, and just get them involved in it. They'll do it if you ask in a fun way. So that's a great idea. I love that. Short bursts.
Yeah, I've always told practices the way to ask a patient for a review is something like this. Hey, Lisa, how was your visit? It was awesome.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, great. Okay. Now I know Lisa's going to give me a good review anyway, so that's why I'm asking her. was great. Hey, would you help me out? I, a company, whatever, we've set a goal. We really want 100 more Google reviews. We're trying to beat out this other practice, or we've got a goal, or this or that, or whatever it might be. Or if we hit this goal, we go to dinner at blah, blah, blah. Would you help me out? Would you give me a review, a really good review, and in it mention my name, please? That'd be awesome. If you do
That's
that,
awesome.
they're doing a favor for you. They're most likely going to do it, unless they're not a kind human being, right? Anyway, so that's how I ask. All right. And by the way, that gentleman that keeps showing up on my phone is my father. And this is why I went through so much therapy. That guy right there. I'm just kidding. I love him to death. Okay. It just looks like a terrifying photo. Okay. The last thing I'll mention is inside of Google Maps. The next way to do this is you got to make it really simple for them to give a review, because most people don't even know how to do it. Okay. They'll be like, sure, what do you want me to do? And then you'll say, give me a Google review, and they'll open up Apple Maps, just like you just did, because they don't know where to do it, because no one knows how to do it. So you can send them a text, and you can automate the texting process. We provide a service that automates it. It taps right into your patient management system, and it sends text that way. There's a lot of companies that have that service. Or you can send a text right from your Google Maps profile, and I'll show you where to do it. So when you go into, you go in here and you find your practice, okay? If you go down to reviews, wait, that's the wrong place. Sorry. If you go down, oh, it's right here. So right there, you see it says get more reviews, and it says share profile. All you have to do is pull your phone up and make sure you're logged in, and then hit that share profile button. It will open up a text message, and I can send a message to Lisa right now. Lisa, hey, Lisa, we have this goal, and my business partner has told me that he'll take me out and get me a giant burrito at this amazing burrito spot if I get a review from you. Would you help me out and get me a review? Please, 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 please. Okay. All right, here you go. I'm sending it to you. What's your phone number? 206.
Yep. 465 1637.
All right. Nobody be using this phone number to send her text in the middle of the night. Okay, boom. So I just sent you the text. So when you get it, okay, actually, oh, you can't share your screen because your phone's not plugged in. Anyway.
No, but I can hold it up in the
Oh, there you
camera.
go. You have to turn your blur off though, or they won't be able to see it.
Okay. So
there you go. So there she gets this text. Oh, almost. There you go. Review us on Google. All she has to do is click on that link, and then she can give us a review. Boom. Super simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same. It's basically the same thing that a lot of these systems have, but you don't have to do it manually with those systems. So this is a really easy way where you can just send somebody a link, they click on it, and they give the review. Super, super simple. So, and I do expect you to give me a review, Lisa.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, all right, all right. Let me show you one other thing. Let me show you where you guys can see that. So if you go to our website, I'll just show you what this looks like. Go to there's this free tab right here at the top. Just click on that, and then down here, it's right, where is it? Right here. This kit right here you can use. You just download it, and we won't hustle you. I mean, if you fill this out and you check this little box, we'll follow you. We'll call you if you're interested in more information. But if you don't check that, we won't call you. But you can download these materials and get them printed off at a local print shop and kick off a campaign.
That's awesome.
It's a really easy way to do that. Okay.
So we have one more question from April.
Okay.
We get reviews from patients and we see them on our page under reviews, but the actual review number doesn't go up to accurately reflect the amount we have. Our team members get discouraged. Any ideas on how our total doesn't always change. Example, we got 3 new reviews last week, but the review number didn't go up by 3.
Okay. So April, I don't know the exact reason for this, but it happens all the time. It may be one that the person who gave the review already gave you a review in the past and the review was updated. So it doesn't change the total number because they were already a reviewed person. So that's one reason it could happen. So they might have reviewed you 5 years ago and the numbers included, right? And then they give you a new review and they basically just updated the old one. So it doesn't count as 2, it only counts as 1. That might happen. 2, Google will remove reviews if they're really, really, really old, or if the accounts have been identified as kind of like dead and like vacant and nobody's using them anymore. So there is a possibility that you got 3 reviews, but 3 reviews got removed. I doubt that's what happened, but that can happen. Other than that, I don't know why there might be some kind of a delay in the number of reviews being kind of like increasing. Like, I don't know if it's that could possibly be an issue. I haven't seen that happen. That could possibly be it, but those are the only comments and responses I have for that. But I'll tell you, you're not the only person that's ever brought that up. So it even happens to my social practice. So we'll get reviews and we're like, why didn't it go up? And we'll kind of investigate and either figure out that it was somebody that's already reviewed us, or we lost an old review that kind of like dropped off, or we'll just be as confused as you are about it. So I hope that's at least a decent answer. I could probably do some research on it and write a blog post about it. Maybe I'll do that.
So people can only review you once?
Well, they can review you as many times as they want, but if they're reviewing you from the same Google account,
okay,
basically it's not going to change the review count number.
Got it.
Because Google's looking at the account, not necessarily the words or the timestamp on the particular review. So yeah, they would basically be updating an old review is what they're doing.
Good to know.
Can you tell that reviews are very important to us? All my questions have been about reviews. Thanks for the information. My dentist continually asks me why our review number isn't increasing. April, I will do some research. I'm gonna make sure you subscribe to our blog, because I'll write something about this and figure it out. I'm sure there's some research online about it.
Yeah, and they have some awesome blogs to help you kind of decipher the process of what we talked about. I've gone on there so many times to just get up to speed on different processes. So they have some really good blogs. Definitely worth checking out.
This is the funnest one, though. The spookiest dental marketing story you will ever hear. This was a storytelling contest that we did on Halloween with our team, and Megan, who did this, she wrote this freehand. It's hilarious. So that's more of a joke, but yeah, we've got just kind of another way to because we've got hundreds and hundreds of blogs, is these little links at the top of each blog, like reputation management or copywriting or dental marketing or social media, SEO. If you click on those, like if you click on SEO right here, it'll take you to all the articles that are tagged with SEO, and you can kind of scroll through those and learn more. So this is all about optimizing your blog. For search engines, how to use ChatGPT, which is mind-blowing. And does it damage your SEO? And it doesn't. So anyway, yeah. Okay. I think we're good. I don't have any other questions. And Lisa, thank you. You're amazing.
Thank you. My pleasure. It was great.
That was fun. And I'll get this recorded and sent out to all of y'all. I'll also include in the email a link to a video on how to optimize your listing and maybe some other resources. And then Lisa, you'll have, I'm going to give Lisa a list of everybody that attended and registered, and she may follow up with some more information as well.
Yep.
Some information about your event would be cool if somebody's interested in coming.
Yep. I'll send them the template too for responding.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I really like the template. That was actually
Thank you.
a way to do it. I've never seen it laid out like that. So super.
I'm all about colors and steps.
I like it.
Processes.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to end it. Thank you everybody for coming, and
thanks everyone.
Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.